says the table shows the distance of 4 hiking trails in kilometers at Sweetwater State Park. So we have Thunder Trail 2.3, Deer Trail 1.6, Brush Trail 2.08, and Rock Trail 3.4. Use the information provided in the table to write and solve one addition word problem and one subtraction word problem. So we're going to have to do 2 problems with this. One addition and one subtraction. This one's a little trickier because they want us to come up with the word problem too. Since they mentioned addition first, let's do that one first. Who can help me out? What is a word problem or a problem we might be able to come up with where we have to add some of the trails? Jadine?
We can add Thunder Trail and Brush Trail together.
Okay, we could. Now I just need a word problem that's going to tell me to do that. What's a word problem that might have us adding those 2 together, JD? What might it say?
How much is Thunder Trail and Brush Trail combined together?
Okay, so we can put how long would it be? And I like that you use the word combined. How long would it be if you combined Thunder Trail and Brush Trail? That's a great example of an addition one. So let's go ahead and solve that. What is the first thing, the most important thing, whenever you're adding or subtracting decimals? What is the first thing you should make sure that you do? Alexa?
Don't forget to line them up.
Have to line up your decimals.
Mr. Meadow,
Yes, ma'am.
and what page is that?
Again, this is from the concepts packet. The packet is called Week 4 Decimal Addition and Subtraction. The page is called Week 4 Concept Check.
Thank you.
So let's go ahead and line up our decimals. We've got 2 decimals to add up. 1, 2, and then I can't forget, I need a decimal or my answer. So Thunder Trail was 2.3. Brush Trail was 2.08. And Jadine said that we're combining these. That's telling me I need to add. I see a problem I need to fix before I can start my addition. What's that problem that I see here? What's the problem, Jadine?
In 2.3, it doesn't have a 0 at the end, so you need to add a 0 because you can't add anything with 8.
Exactly. It's got a blank spot here. And so if I try to do addition, there's nothing there. What I need to do is add in a 0. That way I can do my addition. Right? So 0 plus 8. What is 0 plus 8? What would I get? Bella?
8.
8. 3 plus 0. What is 3 plus 0. Christopher?
3.
3. And 2 plus 2. What is 2 plus 2? Jada? What would I get? 2 plus 2 is what? 4. So our answer for this problem, how long would it be if you combine Thunder Trail and Brush Trail? 4.38, and they told us they were measuring in kilometers. Okay, so that was one thing they asked us to do. They asked us to write and to solve one addition word problem. But now they want us to do the same thing, but with a subtraction word problem. So I've got to come up with a new problem, one that has me doing subtraction. I could use the same numbers if I want, or I could pick other numbers to work with, so long as they're from the same table. So who can help me out? What is a word problem I could write or I could say that this time would have me doing subtraction, not addition? So I don't want to combine these. I want to do something different, something that will make me subtract them. What do you think, Violet?
What was the question?
We need to come up with a subtraction word problem. We already did an addition one. They wanted one addition, one subtraction. So what's a word problem I could come up with where I might subtract some of these numbers?
They don't have any such thing. No. They don't have any pumpkin.
Here's a berry.
I don't know.
What's something they could tell us to do where we'd have to subtract?
They can tell us to take away.
Okay, they might tell us to take away. But these are all different trails, right? They're not the same one. So taking away doesn't really work here. But what could we do to the trails that would make us subtract, that would make us take away?
We can divide.
That's division. I don't want division. I want subtraction. That's what we've been working on this week, right? Addition and subtraction.
Yeah.
So what's something they could tell us that would make us want to subtract?
They can ask how much.
How much? If we were measuring, yes. But I think that's really close to one. How much what?
I don't know.
I think we're really close to getting subtraction there, but how much what? Because if they just asked us how long is it, then that's just measuring, right? They don't want us to measure here.
How much? Hang on. You can. By how much?
But by how much what?
By how much of 2.3 and 2.08?
Well, not exactly what I mean, Violet. You're asking how much but how much what? What are those numbers for? 2.3 and 2.08 are what?
Therefore, the trail.
But what about the trail? Like how many trails there are, or what is it?
It's the third trail. Well,
What are those numbers for? What does it say on the chart? Here's the trail, and this is what?
distance or
Distance. What is
dis-
distance?
um distance means like far from.
Okay, so like how long those trails are. So
Yeah.
that's what those numbers are, right? How long the trails are. So what could we say that would make us subtract? And again, you can use these numbers, or if you want, we can use different trails. Up to you. But you said how much what would make us subtract?
Well, we have to um we have to use minus,
Yeah, we want to use subtraction.
and we have to do 2.3 and 2.08.
If those are the numbers you want to use. But what would we say? Because we can't just say how much 2.3, 2.08. That won't make anyone subtract.
How much more does 2.3 is greater, than less than 2.08?
I think we're close with that beginning. It's not how much more, but how much what. We said distance was
Far.
far, or if we're measuring things, it would be long, right?
Yeah.
So what would we say? How much
Longer.
longer? And then let's use the names. So what's the name of that first trail? How
Thunder.
much longer is, you said Thunder Trail, right?
Yeah.
Thunder Trail. And then what's the other one you want to use?
Brush trail.
Brush Trail. Brush Trail. All right, that's a good one, because whenever you're comparing things, you're subtracting. Remember, just like if you're comparing somebody's height with yours, like if you're trying to figure out you and your friend, or you and brother or sister, if you're going, I'm taller, no, I'm taller. You say, okay, well, let's find out. Let's check. You would both stand right next to each other. So that you could see who's actually taller. That's the same thing as subtraction. You're finding what is the difference between how tall someone is and how tall someone else is. Comparing is always going to be subtraction. Whether you're trying to find out which one is taller, which one is, like in this case, longer, or if you're comparing weight, which one is heavier, or I don't know, time, which one takes longer. Whatever the case might be. But that is a subtraction problem, so let's set that up. Thunder Trail was 2.3. Oh, sorry. Before I write my numbers down, what is the one thing I cannot forget to do when I'm adding or subtracting decimals? The thing I always have to do. Jadine, I always what?
Have to line up your numbers.
Always have to line up not my numbers, but my what?
Decimals?
Decimals. If I line up the decimals, my numbers will be lined up. So I'm going to erase that number. I'm going to line up my decimals first. There's my line. We're subtracting two numbers. So 1, 2. And then an extra 1 for my answer. We have 2.3, 2.08. And since we're comparing, we're trying to figure out how much longer we're going to subtract. I've got a problem here before I can start my subtraction. What's my problem and how do I fix it? What's wrong with my numbers right now? Bella, what's wrong with them?
You forgot a 0 in their 30.
Okay, I've got to put a 0 here because right now it's just blank and I can't leave it blank. Okay, now that I have the 0, I can subtract. What is 0 minus 8? What would I get? 0 minus 8. Christopher?
I was actually stretching, not trying to ask a question.
That's all right. Help me out, Christopher. 0 minus 8. What would I do? Or what can I do? What would it be?
You can't subtract 0 minus 8, so you have to borrow a 10.
Okay. So when I borrow, what's going to happen?
The 3 is going to turn into a 2, and the 0 is going to turn into a 10.
All right. And what's 10 minus 8?
2.
2. What's 2 minus 0? Jada? It's 2 minus 0, Jada. 2. Okay. And what's 2 minus 2? Bailey? What would I get, Bailey? 2 minus 2? 0.
Can you mute me? It doesn't want to let me.
Sure. So, how much longer is Thunder Trail than Brush Trail? 22. Can't forget, they are measuring in kilometers. So 0.22 kilometers. Well, not even a whole kilometer longer. They're pretty close in length.